it's me, Olga Gaydon, with you here. And I've got a question for you. How often are you scared or feel powerless just before making that last step towards your success? Let me give you an example. So your life might look like just a simple staircase. And excuse my drawing, I'm not an artist. I'm a coach, right? So that's your life. When you live your life, you actually go through steps, one step after another. The simplest way is to look at that as your school, then university, then your job, then your marriage, and so on, right? If that would be that simple, that would be great. But it's not. We have more things to happen in our lives than just changing our statuses from being a pupil to actually student, right? What happens, we grow and we achieve and we challenge ourselves. So what's interesting, it is much easier for people to do almost like 9 steps out of 10 because it's easier rather than the last one, the 10th one. Because people then look back and they see their growth and they think, oh my God, I've grown so much. Not consciously, very often subconsciously, that it's really scary now to make another step because they know the next step means next level. And it becomes really, really scary. And you know what? I've been there before myself as well. And the minute you realize that you grow that much and now you only have to make that little step, your brain just goes, wow, that's amazing. How easy is to make the last step? And here, I want to help you with that. So let's go back to your first step, right? Think about a challenge. Think about something you've done a long time ago. Maybe it was you starting your business 10 years ago, right? And you were right here and you were not sure, how do I get actually to my next step, which is maybe making more money, maybe having more time, maybe traveling around the world. What exactly was your next step? And think about it, right? Think about in bullet points. What actually was driving me? First question. What was driving you back then? What was helping you? Was it a desire? Was it a dream? Was it a fear? What was it? There was definitely something that was driving you from here to your next level, and that was helping you. So what you have to do is just copy that into your next step. You just use the same thing that was helping you before, but not only using that, but also remembering about that, almost like reliving that. Going back into that state, thinking how challenging was it to make those phone calls? What was it telling myself? How was I working with myself before I would do that? And when you bring yourself into that state, you actually can move on to the next step. And then you remember your next experience, what you were doing here. What fears did you have back then? I'll give you an example. So when I moved to England, that would be my first step, right? I'm in England, I'm here, and I'm thinking, wow, what do I do next? I always had passion to help people. I always, as long as I remember myself, had that drive to help people to change their lives. That was just within me. I was a problem solver. I was a fixer, and I wanted to help to fix everything with everyone. So when I moved to England, I faced a challenge. I don't speak English. So I knew my next step will be actually speaking English. So where did I go? Well, since I was born in Latvia, in Russian-speaking family, I remember that I had to learn Latvian at some point to be able to get a real job and actually be successful in Latvia. And therefore, my step was to immerse myself into English culture, into thinking in English, writing in English, reading in English, to the extent, I'll be honest, right now, I struggle to write in Russian. Every time I write something in Russian, I'm thinking, is that right? And sometimes I have to call my friends to double check with them because it's been 10 years of me using English only. And we do tend to forget something that was with us even for, like in my case, for 24 years, because that becomes your second nature. So my question to you is, what is your second nature right here? What do you do naturally now? What do you do across all other steps as well? Just because you became natural at that, because you became so good, you don't even pay attention how good you are. Because I know you have something like that. So my next step after this was actually, okay, now I'm ready. I can communicate in English. Now I'm ready to help more people. How do I do it? And here I had to actually take my counseling background, which I got in Latvia just purely for myself because I just wanted to help people and I was interested in psychology. So here I was thinking, okay, what can actually I can do in order to help more people apart from just running my business? And that was purely by accident when I found out about life coaching. That was eye-opening for me because I thought, wow, that's something what actually I can do officially and I can officially help people now. And that was mind-blowing. So my next step actually was getting that degree, okay? And learning about life coaching. And you know what? Do you think I stopped? No, I never stop because people mind is so simple and complex. There's so many things to learn. There's so many things to improve. And because we develop all the time, and because time is going fast, we got to upgrade ourselves all the time. So one thing what I learned, you got to educate yourself all the time. And think about your industry, think about your business. Have you got a degree? Have you got a specific knowledge and experience and now you think that's it? If you don't improve yourself, you can't improve circle of your friends. You can't improve money what you earn because the more you grow, the more everything else around you will grow. And that was my journey as well. I had to grow all the time. So think about your life. What actually was helping you through all these stages? And I'm sure you can have probably like 100 of them, right? Which is fine. But think what actually kept you going. What was your driving force? Seriously, take a minute and just write down what is my driving force? What actually is making me go, achieve, and succeed? Because once you figure out what is your driving force, what is keeping you pushing when sometimes you just don't want to go ahead, you'll be able to motivate yourself. Right? And also, second question to ask yourself is, how do I know when I get there? How will you know? Many people, they forever keep pushing themselves, even though they become really successful. And I work with plenty of people like that. They come to me because they say, Olga, you know what? I made my life awesome. I have businesses, I've traveled the world, I've got beautiful wife, beautiful children, beautiful mansion, cars and everything else. But I am not happy because they were never envisioning what it's going to be like when they've reached the destination. They almost like they never knew what it will be looking like, feeling like, experiencing like. And that's why they're still pushing themselves because they're still not sure if they have made it because they're not happy. Alright? So how is it when you succeed? Seriously, how is it when you are there? When you reach your destination, you need to know what it will be like. I know what you can do for that? Seriously, it's really basic. Every morning or every evening before bedtime, just sit down on your bed or lie down in your bed if you wish. And just spend 3-4 minutes. Put an alarm on your mobile phone and just spend those 3-4 minutes feeling that, envisioning that, embodying that. So actually your body, your mind, your thinking adapts to what is that person at the higher level. Because more steps you will go through, that means you go higher. Just like in that building. This is just taking you to level 1. And then guess what? You will do another journey to the level 2. And then another journey to the level 3. And at every step, you will have some other challenges. But if you will know what's your driving force, if you will know how is it at the next level, it will be easier for you to take yourself through that journey. So ask yourself these two simple questions. What helped me before? And apply that. How will I feel when I'm there? And apply it in every day. So once you get there, you know there is level number 2. The biggest thing, know where you're going. And I call it goal after goal, right? Because when you have a goal after goal, this is when you know where you're going at the end destination. And of course, no one knows what is the end destination because life is such a journey, okay? But imagine you have a goal, let's say to buy a house in your life, and then you take all these steps, you buy a house, bought the house, what's next? You will feel almost like, oh, I'm now demotivated. Because I had that dream, I had that drive, I had a desire, and was driving me to own a property. That was my driving force. I wanted to be an owner of a property. And how is it? I knew I will feel the house, I'll be walking around the house, I'll be proud. But because I never had goal after goal, you'll get the house and you'll feel like, right, what's next? You will have this feeling of being lost a little bit. And therefore, when you have your goal after goal, whether it is to have properties across all continents and rent them out, that's fine. Whether it is, let's say you want to travel and you want to visit every country which exists on this planet of Earth, it is fine. It's up to you what goal after goal do you have. But make sure you forever have something else to grow. Because when you stop growing, just like the tree, you're dying. Because your mind needs to be active all the time. And your mind is active all the time when it has something to work towards to. I hope it helps because I really, 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 really care about you succeeding in your life. Whether it is your personal life, your business life, or your relationships. You can apply these in any area of your life, even your health. I want you to realize that you are the owner of your own life. And I want you to actually start doing something for your own happiness. Because other people can never make you happy. That's entirely up to you. So go through this journey. Ask yourself these questions. What is my driving force? What actually makes me going after something? Is it the fear? Is it the desire? What is it? How does it feel like when I am there? How do I know I'm there, right? And the last one, goal after goal. Think about it. I hope it helps because that helps so many of my clients and it helped me myself personally as well. All the best with that. I know you can do it. Thank you for watching.